There and joining us now to talk about Snap and Snapchat is President of Payne Capital Management, Ryan Payne. Ryan, good to have you with us.
Always a pleasure, Michelle.
So Snapchat closing at $24.48 per share. That's up 44%. Pretty good. Market cap at about $33 billion. What do you make of that?
I mean, absolutely crazy, right? I mean, I think first off, they didn't think the valuation was going to be that high, even to price it before the IPO. And for it to be up 40% plus in one day is absolutely, yeah, it's astonishing. I'm actually surprised it was that high.
The company has yet to make a profit. In fact, it's made a loss of about $515 million. Usership is not growing as rapidly as it used to.
That's right.
So why buy the stock?
I would be very nervous about a stock here because I do think that valuation is very high. Now, the momentum could keep pushing it higher just because right now the animal spirits are out. You know, market's doing really, really well, especially post the Trump speech that we had the other night. So I think for all those reasons, I mean, it could move up for a while here, but I think it's a very dangerous place to buy that stock.
You say the animal spirits. Is this,
yes.
Is Snapchat being caught up in this Trump rally, the expectations that he'll boost the economy with tax reform, deregulation, and infrastructure spending? It's just going along for the ride, do you think?
I think it is, and I think just the appetite for IPOs right now is large. I mean, we have a 122% higher amount of IPOs coming out this year than we did last year.
Yeah, the IPO market, what is your outlook for that? Let's digress quickly.
Yeah, no, I think very exciting right now. This to see so many IPOs, which also just plays into there's a big appetite for it, which is very good for the market.
Well, let's go back to Snapchat because Facebook is successful, Twitter isn't. So what can Snapchat learn from that?
I mean, that valuation is really hard to learn anything because they're going to have to show a lot of profits over the next couple of years to justify it.
What are the potential revenue streams for Snapchat?
I mean, advertising is going to be the key, but the problem is they have like 158 daily users, 158 million daily users, and now Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, has their own service called Stories, which also has 150 million users. And that could be one of the reasons why there was less users on Snapchat or growth in users over the last, quarter.
So Facebook's Instagram, like you said, is doing its best to kill Snapchat.
That's a good way of putting it.
How worrying is that?
I would be worried as an investor, yes. I mean, if I'm Evan Spiegel or Bobby Murphy, who just saw their company go to a $33 billion valuation, I'd be pretty happy. But as an investor right now, if you want to buy the stock, I'd be very, very nervous.
Do we have a tech bubble brewing? Because a tech app bubble, these evaluations are astronomical. Could there just be overexuberance in this particular sector now?
Yeah, I think there definitely could. I mean, I think this is definitely indicative of you're getting the animal spirits. Valuations are getting a little crazy. If I'm an investor right now, I'd be very excited about the overall market because I think this just says that investors are back. They're getting more optimistic, especially globally. If you look at China right now, they've had more IPOs than anyone else in the world right now. Also speaks to a great global economy. But if you're looking specifically at tech, you're looking specifically at IPOs like this, I would be nervous to buy right here.
But Ryan, we've had these astronomical evaluations for a number of tech companies, like from what WhatsApp was bought for to this. How are any of these really monetizing and proving that they're going to deliver eventually?
Well, that's the problem, right? We don't know how that's going to happen with stiffer competition now. And also, if you're looking at slower growth, like Twitter's the perfect example. Twitter isn't anywhere near its IPO price. So I think that has to really worry you when you start thinking about buying Snapchat. Very quickly, the shares being sold for Snap, you can't vote. They don't have voter rights. How unusual is that and how problematic is that? I mean, I always like to think that if you look at, in this case, the founders still have control, and if they're innovators, that's a good thing. I think the problem is a quarter of the shares are in lockup, meaning if you own the shares right now, for a quarter of them, you can't sell them for about a year. So it's another reason why after 12 months, there's a good chance this stock could start to be sold off.